You reach PRS, the Preternatural Research Society. Please leave a message after the beep.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning and PRS receives a distressed call from a 16-year-old boy. His entire family sees ghosts, but he doesn't. PRS is on the scene the next day.
I looked and I saw this tall shadow.
Seen the door slam shut.
I ran and screamed.
They might be seeing animals, shadows.
Wow. It's just cool. Did you feel that go by?
Yeah.
It's getting stirred up.
It's very cold.
Very cold right behind me.
I keep shaking a lot.
My eyes like they were bleeding.
Medical experimentations.
Behind my neck, someone hung.
No one who attended the hanging could forget the stare on little Jim's face.
The horses are strange animals.
What are you seeing here? I know you see things. I can hear him crying.
We're gonna get something.
Each week, the Preternatural Research Society, a seasoned team of renowned psychics and historical researchers, has an urgent mission. Over the course of a 3-day investigation, they must scientifically uncover paranormal threats, remove unwanted spirits, and return a home to its rightful owners.
Everything you're about to see is real. All events take place over the course of a weekend. The psychics and the investigators have no prior knowledge to the specifics of the case. For over a decade, the Faust family has lived an idyllic life in this 18th century horse farm. There's just one problem.
We see ghosts.
I don't know what they are. People that don't know they're dead.
It's just too many times that it happened.
Well, everyone, another case in kind of a different area. We're going to a horse farm. This is about 110-acre property. Wow.
Daryl Mitzen, PRS team leader and occult specialist.
The activity does seem to increase as summer goes into fall. I think they're worried now that they know another round of it is coming.
Jane Doherty, world-renowned psychic and author. Kiki Mandalosis, psychic intuitive with more than 5 years' experience investigating the paranormal. Dave Owens, New Jersey law enforcement officer. He handles the forensic end of the investigation.
This is going to be quite an adventure.
Always an adventure.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Daryl. Irv, nice to meet you. The family, things have definitely scared them. They have friends that don't want to come around.
Let's go grab some dinner. I would like to see somebody on your crew see this thing or experience it.
You're in for a very interesting weekend. Our group uses scientific equipment. Our group uses psychics, mediums, intuitives. Our group also does a lot of historical research. Now, I heard there's a non-believer amongst you. It's true?
Yeah, I'd like to see some proof, other than just stories.
Right.
I've never actually seen a ghost. They might just be seeing animals they mistake at night, shadows.
My son says he has not seen a ghost or anything here. At least, that's what he tells me.
We want to start the investigation now.
The horse farm is on 110 acres of property. Quite a challenge for PRS.
A property this size, it's very daunting. You know, it would be impossible to cover all this land in 1 month, let alone 1 weekend.
Daryl and Dave ask Irv for a tour of the property so they can determine which areas to focus on.
Over here at the main barn, numerous people have seen a little girl come skipping out.
One morning I was coming in to feed the horses, and I walked in the back part of the barn, and there was a little girl crying.
She was in I want to say blue dress, and she was blonde, and she had white stockings.
Perfectly calm night, seeing the door literally slam shut.
In the barn, I saw a man standing in the doorway. After that, I ran and screamed out of the barn crying. For a while, I was too scared to go alone.
Out of the corner of my eye, I looked and I saw like this tall shadow. He was creeping behind the tractor, and I was just like...
An older gentleman. He was tall, and he had a red flannel shirt.
Very vivid. Was no cloudy figure or nothing.
Like you and me?
Yes.
Sure it wasn't neighbors, somebody around locally?
When I got there, which was literally 5 seconds after, there was nothing there.
Nothing there.
There's no way you can explain that one away. It wasn't a shadow, it wasn't a cat, it wasn't your eyes playing tricks on you. You know, people say, I'll believe it when I see it. They're seeing it, it's in front of them.
At least 20 people outside the Faust family have seen the ghosts.
Everyone has seen them. My grandmother, my dad, my friends, my sister, my sister's friends. I live here, and I don't get to see anything.
I guess he doesn't believe us because he hasn't seen it. I don't know if he wants to or not. I can't figure that boy out.
In order to deploy his team more effectively, PRS Director Daryl interviews the family.
Has anyone ever smelt anything?
Whenever I walk into either the middle section or the front section of the barn, I'll walk and I'll just smell cigarette smoke, and it's like so strong that it's like somebody's blowing it in your face.
Different smells that come through, cigar smoke, cherry cigar smoke.
Anything in this house?
Oh yes, in the house. I was in the kitchen and I saw something quickly walk from my father's room to the front room.
Which one was the last one that you saw?
Probably the man in the house.
Jen, she's a little spooked by what's happening to her. She's had some type of experience that's traumatized her.
Now the next step is to see what the psychics pick up.
To guarantee the integrity in the investigation, neither Jane nor Kiki have been told any specific details of the family's experiences. Accompanied by Kevin Faust, Kiki begins at the house.
I definitely feel as though I'm being watched. I see a man, a tall man, with a shirt, it's kind of checkered, and the letter J. Does anyone smoke cigarettes up here?
Not actually in the house.
It's almost like tobacco smoked in a pipe.
Daryl sends Jane out to explore the barns and sheds of the expansive farm.
I'm drawn into that area there. There's a definite presence in this barn. Because every time I think about going there, I get a chill. It's unnerving me a little bit. I get an image of a man in a plaid shirt, a farmer. This is definitely, I would say, a hot spot.
Jane detects another presence.
I'm also hearing the sound almost as though like a ball is bouncing. Something is bouncing. Children. Getting somebody over in the corner in one of these, this area is sitting here and crying. A scream.
Her psychic impression takes a violent turn.
No matter where I walk around this property on my own, I keep getting someone hung on a rope since I set foot on the property, and I can't get rid of that image.
I'm not sure why, but I feel very sad. Whether it was recent or a while ago, someone did lose their life. You don't know anything about any deaths that may have occurred? No.
It's kind of weird hearing them just somewhat describe some of the people, being as they never heard any of the things.
The first day of the Faust Horse Farm investigation is not yet over, and already strong evidence of paranormal activity is emerging. There are striking parallels between the family's eyewitness testimony of ghost activity and the psychic spirit impressions. Mary Lynn's account.
An older gentleman, and he had a red flannel shirt.
Psychic Jane Dougherty's spirit impression.
I get an image of a man in a plaid shirt.
Family patriarch Irv Faust.
different smells that come through, cigar smoke, cherry cigar smoke.
Psychic Kiki Mandalosis.
It's almost like tobacco smoked in a pipe.
A match. Both the psychics and the Faust describe a young girl and a man. Neither Kiki or Jane knew the specifics of the family's testimony before their walkthroughs.
Dave, you know which one that is, number one?
02.
The team readies its arsenal of voice recorders, digital video cameras, and electromagnetic field detectors.
One's ready?
So we probably put some video cameras in there facing at different angles, maybe one into here, one into there.
Yeah.
Record at the interval of every second.
The psychics are just part of it. Scientifically, if we have a hot spot we think we want to look at, we'll put a camera there and see if we have any activity.
The goal? To capture hard scientific data to back up the family's eyewitness accounts and the psychic's impressions.
We're almost completed here.
The horses are skittish, acting as if they are afraid of someone or something. Jane and Kiki rush into the barn.
What are you seeing here? I know you see things. Look at the way they're looking at you. And you know that they experience and sense things in here.
Horses are a strange animal. There's many times that all of the horses will literally stop eating and stop neighing, turn around, look out their stalls.
Like, ooh, what's there? And there's nothing there.
With signs of increased spirit activity, the team calls in historical researchers Kenny Roginski and Emily Snyder for a late-night briefing.
There's some things I really want to have some answers to. The psychics are both picking up a little girl, which the family has also reported. So we're trying to find out if a little girl has died here. A man has also been, has shown up, smoking possibly cherry cigars. Somebody that might have hung themselves. That's what we have so far. Whatever you think you can find for us, just let us know. Good luck. Don't the vampires get you?
We're off.
It's 3 a.m., time for the team to get a few hours of rest. But PRS's cameras are awake, watching and recording.
I had a hard time falling asleep in the beginning. I kept hearing things, kept looking out the windows, thinking that something was looking back at me.
Come on, good. Very interested to see what they come out with.
First thing we're going to do today is we're going to analyze the evidence that we picked up last night.
So we'll see what the cameras show.
Any amount of luck, we'll see it.
I think the family's doing pretty well. I think that Kevin is surprised.
I got to walk around with the psychics last night.
Whether it was recent or a while ago, someone did lose their life.
Well, they describe the little girl or the guy, and
I get an image of a man in a plaid shirt.
so it was kind of weird, being as they never heard the stories. And they were describing the people that everyone else here describes.
Daryl and Dave review the overnight surveillance tapes.
All right, Dave, I'm checking out the EVP that you recorded up in the attic.
Okay.
Electronic voice phenomenon, EVPs, are inexplicable sounds or voices captured on recorded media like video and audio tapes.
In this time frame, there's something going on. We know nobody was upstairs. So what I want to do is I want to fast forward to those spots.
Something moved.
It sounded like a footstep first.
Footstep and then something
and
moved.
something got pushed. Let me play that.
Put it back. Yeah, it was close to the microphone too.
Now you're sure nobody was up there, right?
Right. What we have here, we have something here. We don't know what it is, but we have something.
Right. The fact that we're getting activity in this room, let's go with it. High five, Big Papa.
Yeah.
While Daryl and Dave continue their analysis of the overnight surveillance tapes, historical researchers Kenny and Emily make a startling discovery.
There was a hanging back in the 1820s. A young little black boy. He was 14 years old.
Jeez, what else does it say?
a Dr. Coryell who lived at the Runks Mill takes the body in order to perform an autopsy and medical experimentations. And little Jim's body is just left there and abandoned. You know, it's weird, Kenny. For some reason, Runks Mill rings a huge bell for me. Like, I feel like I've read it before.
Back at the farm, Jane and Jen check to see if the horses are still acting strangely.
Come here. How you doing?
Aw, hey, Joker. I'm just fascinated to watch what they're doing, and you can just feel that psychic energy.
Yep. We had a horse, Indy. He was born here and he died here. He colicked, his intestines twisted. We decided to put him down, and none of the horses were in at the time. For a while after, none of the horses really wanted to go next to the stall or in the stall, and they were just kind of like looked at that stall like funny, and yeah, so they knew he was gone too, yeah.
The psychic energy coming off of them also opens you up psychically. That could definitely be a reason that you see so many of the ghosts.
Sal.
Yes, hi, Emily. Emily meets with Hunterdon County historian Sal DeSapio to find out more about the hanging of little Jimmy.
They say that his ghost inhabits this area of the township.
Now, where is that in relation to our map?
That would be here.
Runks Mill, the place where little Jimmy's body was taken, is located right on the horse farm's property line. Day 2. The Faust Horse Farm investigation has taken a disturbing turn.
Oh my God, Kenny, listen to this. All right.
Researchers Kenny Roginski and Emily Snyder have uncovered a horrifying tale of slavery, murder, and medical experimentation. Hunterdon County historian Sal DeSapio pays a visit to the farm.
Hey, Sal.
Hi,
Thanks for
Emily.
coming
Good
out.
to see you again.
Yeah.
So, little Jim was a Negro slave, and he was hanged for murdering his mistress. People have seen his ghost.
The macabre saga of Little Jimmy is not the only dark passage in Hunterdon County's history.
There were very many epidemics. One family lost 4 children under the age of 8 within 5 weeks.
The little girl and the man with the flannel shirt, possible victims of a long-ago plague. Illustrator Trevor McCarthy is called in to turn the psychic's visions into images that can be shown to the family.
This man is very tall, dark hair. His face looked a little weathered.
As Jane sits down with Trevor, there's an eerie similarity between her vision of the man in the flannel shirt and Kiki's. The psychics never discuss their visions until after the sketches are complete. Next, Trevor and Jane create a portrait of the little girl Jane saw crying in the barn.
She's probably around 7 or 8, something like that. And I would have her with, you know, long hair. That's good.
More than 20 people outside the Faust family say they have seen either the girl or the man in the flannel shirt.
My friend PJ was standing right here, and he said he saw someone at that corner. He said it was just looking out at him, just staring at him, and it went in. She went in, and then she came back out. He said it was a little girl, and I ran back there to look, but nothing was there.
Kevin claims that he has never seen the ghosts.
Kevin, I don't know, he always has to be a big man on campus, kind of. And every time we tell him about ghosts, he's just like, yeah, whatever, let me see them.
Jen has seen the ghosts more than any other family member.
I feel that Jennifer definitely has psychic ability.
All right, Jen, I wanted you to check something out.
Daryl and Dave asked Jen to listen to the unexplained sounds on the EVP recorded in the attic.
Now, definitely something's moving up there.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anything upstairs? I mean, your bedroom is right underneath there?
I hear like the door like push back and forth.
Were you up there at all today?
No.
Because the attic light was on. It was? Yeah. I thought, why is this light on? It's daylight. So I clicked it off. The light was on.
Daryl sends Dave to fine-tune the surveillance equipment in the attic. Jen and Kevin's rooms are also placed under surveillance. As day turns into night, Daryl and Jane meet with researchers Kenny and Emily.
The psychics and the family have seen some very distinct things, so we're not just dealing with shadowy images.
The agenda? To see if the historical evidence matches the family's testimony and the psychic spirit impressions.
Just gonna bounce some ideas off you. What clicks, what doesn't click?
Joshua Stout lived here. He passed away sometime between 1880 and 1900.
Makes sense, because one of the images that I received in the barn was a man with beard.
We have a picture from 1900 shows his son Amos had a beard. He could have had a beard himself.
This image is definitely relevant.
Here's farming type of people. Here's people that worked at a certain time of the year, especially when we're getting a lot of phenomena.
We thought the little girl that was seen could be Lyda Stout. That was Joshua's granddaughter.
But what's interesting is that this girl's spirit seems to be very present throughout our area. Not only has the family seen her here, but they've also seen her in various other places.
Emily briefs the team on the story of little Jimmy.
There was a hanging. He was a young teenager, 14. Thousands of people turned up for his hanging when they kicked his feet out from underneath him. He managed to wiggle off the hood that was over his head in order to prevent his face from being shown.
And when I did my walkthrough, the screen I did in one area, someone hung. I see the image of this young boy hanging.
The meeting comes to an abrupt halt when Dave urgently calls Daryl outside.
What's up, Dave? What happened? Jen comes up and she says the light is on in the attic.
This is the light? That's the attic right there?
That's the attic light. Now, when I left the attic, I turned that light off.
Okay.
I know I turned it off.
And nobody's been up there since?
Jen hasn't been up there. And as far as we know, nobody's been up there.
Really?
Now, Jen, you asked?
Yeah, I asked all the kids and everybody here, and they all said, no, why would we go up there?
Daryl, Jane, and Jen rush up to the attic to see if they can pick up any spirit activity.
Oh, I just got a chill. It's like a walk right through me. I'm feeling a cold breeze around me right now. Whoa.
It's just cool.
Did you feel that go by?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, that was a sudden rush of it.
That's a ghost?
Oh, yeah.
I get that all the time. Oh, my God.
Jane attempts to make direct contact with the spirit.
Tell us who you are. We would like to help you if we can. I can feel you coming near me. There's a lot of strange sensations. It's pretty strong, a lot of pain. It feels like I'm being crushed behind my neck. Strong pain. A difficulty breathing. This pain is so strong, I want to scream from it. There was something here.
Jane is visibly drained from the encounter.
It pulled me really rapidly. It was like I didn't have a chance or choice.
She orders everyone out of the attic.
I'm a little spooked because it's strong up there. Really strong.
What's up, Dave? When I left the attic, I turned that light off.
A mysterious light in the attic leads to a terrifying encounter for psychic Jane Dougherty and Jen.
Feel that go by?
Yeah, I felt it and I was like, whoa.
It feels like I'm being crushed.
When Jane said she felt something, I felt something too.
Behind my neck.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's just this weird feeling.
A difficulty breathing.
Like catching my breath, but without actually catching my breath.
Something came right here.
Jen makes a startling confession.
I always feel that, like at different times of the day and just all the time, and I never knew that's what it was.
They're opening up her psychic ability, and she's responding. The hanging, every time I think of it, I get very sad and very upset. So that can be a spirit who is still in confusion or a state of torture of some sort.
Jane is worried. The choking sensation could signal physical danger. Something must be done. Answers are needed. Answers that researchers Kenny and Emily tried to supply at a meeting in the barn.
In 1828, a little black boy was hung for the murder of his mistress. He was 14 years old. It is said that no one who attended the hanging could forget the stare on little Jim's face. Now, why this is important to our story is because a doctor, Corial, took the body back to Runk's Mill, and it's right on the border of our property.
Could the choking sensation be Jen and Jane reliving the agonizing death of little Jimmy? But what of the other ghosts seen by the family?
All right, we're gonna start with the first picture.
Daryl presents the sketches of the little girl and the man in the flannel shirt.
Does this look accurate to you?
Yeah.
Marilyn, you're shaking your head as well?
Yeah.
Kenny thinks he may have a match for the man in the flannel shirt.
Joshua Stout died between 1880 and 1900.
Didn't you say you were getting a J name, something like that?
Yes, when I did the walkthrough in the house, and the letter J. And I got the sense of a male presence. The letter J stood out.
Really, I honestly believe that we have your farmer.
Now, Jane, the girl you saw in a blue gingham dress, I'm looking at Lida Stout. She was the granddaughter of Joshua Stout.
You guys aren't the only people to see a little girl in a gingham dress. Usually she appears over the sick. A very elderly woman, her niece came in to ask her, "Can I get you anything?" She goes, "Oh no, the little girl just came by." "What little girl?" "You know, the little girl in the gingham dress."
The research, the psychic spirit contacts, and the family's testimony are all coming together. The girl in the gingham dress, Lida Stout. The man in the flannel shirt, Joshua Stout. The child hanging, little Jimmy.
What year was this? 1828.
As the meeting breaks up, the horses become agitated again.
Pillows?
Jane and Kiki decide to sleep in the barn in order to feel and possibly even see what the horses are experiencing. Day 3 of the Faust Horse Farm investigation.
What I experienced sleeping in here was just, just feeling the energy of the horses. And
Jennifer, I think she's beginning to understand her own psychic ability and how the horses can actually even make her more open to the spirit world.
I think this weekend, Kevin has a new respect and understanding of what paranormal investigators do. Kevin has watched the psychics on their walkthrough.
No matter where I walk around this property on my own, I keep getting someone hung.
He was kind of shocked at how their stories were similar to his family's stories.
Today I'm going to go to the area at the edge of the property where that young boy was brought to see if there's any other impressions that I can pick up.
Our properties go back on through here.
Really a big piece of property.
This is it down here on the left-hand side.
Irv takes Jane to Runk's Mill, the place where little Jimmy's body was sent.
Creamery Lane.
Yeah.
The body was brought here.
Right.
Runk's Mill is located right on the horse farm's property line. Jane senses a presence.
Definitely getting an image of the black boy. I can hear, oh God, I can hear him crying to die so gruesomely. He keeps telling me he didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it.
Little Jimmy, innocent?
It's like this whole
over and over and over and over again.
Not guilty of murdering his mistress.
So this is definitely a spirit wandering, and to this day, trying to vindicate himself.
Hello.
Hi.
An interruption and an invitation.
But as I was approaching the property, I started to get an image of a young boy hanging.
And this is what we're trying to find out, if there's any tie between what we're seeing up at my place and experiencing up there is down here. Okay. Wow.
An unexpected revelation.
There was a little girl jumping on the bed. And she was like, she just turned around, she said, if you're gonna stay here, just sit down. So the little girl just sat with them. And I don't know how true it is, but that's what, they said.
Well, we've seen a little girl at my place.
Really?
Yep. In and out of the barns and stuff. And not just one person seen her. Heard her crying and things like that.
What was the window on that side of the house that was low?
That would be down here.
I want to see what I feel downstairs. I think I would stay up here too. There must have been a couple of people viewing the body, like almost thrilled over this gruesomeness. A man spitting at the body. Ugh.
Jane searches for the exact spot where little Jimmy's body was brought.
This has got to be where bodies were.
Upstairs, the mystery deepens.
A couple times this light would just go on and off by itself, and there was another time you would hear a door close or open, and you'd hear the handle.
And this is probably over the kitchen.
Correct. It's right over the kitchen.
Definitely getting an image of the black boy.
An encounter with a tortured spirit.
I can hear him crying.
A young boy hanged for a murder he did not commit.
He keeps telling me he didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it. Over and over and over and over again. Someone who is existing in the spirit world. He's been accused of something, he dies for it, and he's in this anguish because he's still suffering.
You ready?
As Jane and Irv head back to the farm, the rest of the team reviews the latest surveillance footage taken in Kevin's room.
What we're going to do now is listen to some of these tapes.
What was that?
Go back a little bit.
The door moved, didn't it? We just saw a door move for no reason.
It seems like it's getting stirred up. We're gonna get something.
All right, Kiki, here's the door in question.
Daryl and Kiki check out Kevin's room.
Here, I'm banging it with some force, so I'm gonna hit it again hard. Even there, it comes right back. We should go in and check out the windows in here, see if there's a draft. There's no ceiling fan. Here's the window. I'll just open a little bit.
In fact, the window faces the door. Any breeze would push the door closed. Back in the PRS mobile lab, Jane and illustrator Trevor McCarthy work up a sketch of little Jimmy.
I know when people get hung, they usually have like a hood. Does he have a hood on, or did you see his face?
I saw his face.
Just saw his
so with the noose hanging, and I could clearly see that look of terror. His mouth was more like open, like that, really frightened. It's horrible. It's a very, very upsetting image.
As the day winds down, Kevin seems sullen and withdrawn.
Kevin's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of hard to tell what he's thinking sometimes.
Kevin says he has never seen the ghosts.
I've never actually seen a ghost. I'd like to see some proof, other than just stories. I ran back there to look, but nothing was there. Everyone has seen him. I don't get to see anything.
But Kevin has been shaken by the striking similarity between his family's testimony and the psychic spirit impressions.
An older gentleman, and he had a red flannel shirt.
I get an image of a man in a plaid shirt.
Jane and Jen invite Kevin to join them as they attempt to reestablish contact with little Jimmy.
Oh my God, what a strange sensation.
Contact is fleeting.
His presence comes around you a lot. You are in a space in your rooms where there is spirit activity.
A startling confession.
You ever felt like you were pushed?
Yeah, it feels weird when it goes because it takes me off guard.
Despite his repeated denials, Kevin has felt the ghost's presence.
And this has happened more than once.
Many times.
I can see the look on your face. It's almost like you don't want to have to acknowledge that you are interacting with him.
No need to interact with them. There's something wrong with that.
Somebody's trying to get your attention.
But they're not getting my attention. You.
You shaking your fist at me?
Yes, I am.
What I don't understand is why you don't want to acknowledge them. There's got to be something you're afraid of.
They're dead. Keep them that way.
All right, let's go. Your brother, because of him not acknowledging,
They're gonna want to make him
could
acknowledge.
actually be causing more of the activity.
So I get thrown here and just end up sliding. She says they're trying to get my attention, and for what, I don't know. In the Bible, they say you die, you go to heaven or hell. You don't live, die, come back for a little bit, leave when you want to.
In the attic, he was like going like this to me because there was something that was going on in him that I was trying to get out of him, but he wouldn't go there.
Daryl summons the family for a final review of the scientific evidence.
All right, here on this video, what you're gonna see is Kevin's door actually swing open a little bit. Right there.
That was like a real fast open and close.
The last one I want to show you, something was definitely
eye-opening to me. The whole works was surprising. I can't explain any of it.
PRS has one final task.
Let's join hands.
It's time for the seance.
Now just close your eyes.
Jane will attempt to summon little Jimmy. Her goal is to set his troubled spirit free.
Wherever I am, God is.
Wherever I am, God is.
I'm always in God's loving protection.
I'm always in God's loving protection.
We ask any spirits that are present to come into the center of the circle and make themselves known. Make your presence known. Something is starting.
The final stage of the Faust Horse Farm investigation, an attempt to free the tortured spirit of little Jimmy, a young slave hanged for a murder he did not commit. The team's mission is urgent. Daughter Jen has experienced a choking sensation, and son Kevin has reluctantly admitted that he has been pushed repeatedly by the spirit of little Jimmy.
Something is starting to come in.
A visitor.
Beginning to feel, that's a lot of breeze.
It's very cold.
Very, very cold. Very cold right behind me.
The drastic drop in temperature is captured by the thermal camera. The yellow, green, and red signify heat. The blue is cold.
We want to feel you stronger.
For me, it feels kind of weird to inhale,
Jane senses the spirit hovering right behind Kevin and Stephanie.
I feel something around the two of you.
keep shaking a lot.
Okay, your arm is really shaking, your left side is really shaking.
My legs are shaking.
Sometimes hurts to exhale.
My neck was.
Who are you? I'm seeing that boy. I could see the boy hung.
Feels like can't breathe in.
It hardly seems possible, but it appears that Kevin is reliving the death of little Jimmy.
I have to try to release him.
Jane's #1 priority is now Kevin's safety. To stop the choking, she attempts to take the burden of little Jimmy's pain upon herself.
Oh. Do it. You do it. It's okay. I know you didn't do it. You've got to go to the light. You've got to go. I'll help you. I'll get you there.
Peace for the spirit of little Jimmy.
Oh, wow. I can see the bright light. Oh, my God. It's beautiful. Oh, my God. It's beautiful.
He's been looking for someone, something, some way to be able to communicate to someone that he didn't do it. Just feel so fortunate that we were able to do that.
My throat started bothering me, and it got worse and worse, and I started coughing a lot. Everything just looked like it was going blurry. And then my eyes started to hurt real bad. It actually felt like they were bleeding. I feel like just falling.
What?
I feel like falling forward. I basically was him. I was hung, I guess.
Take me a while to get rid of his face in front of me. Oh, God.
But this is one of the more powerful for me, personally. And it was definitely an emotional experience.
I hope that we offered some assistance to you.
Very much.
It's time to say goodbye.
It's been one heck of a weekend.
My boy.
When you can release a trapped spirit, I can't think of anything better.
I think you have a much different fall season than you usually do.
Intense.
Anything happens, please let us know, okay?
Have a safe trip home.
We're gonna miss all of you.
Since the PRS team was here,
Calm, no sightings.
it's been quiet.
All the noises have been stopping.
It's been very quiet.
I haven't been getting pushed into the walls.
As far as the attic, Jen might be scared of going up there. I don't know.
The attic at first I was definitely scared of, like whenever like they were hearing the sounds and everything, but after about like 3 days, I didn't really care. Kevin, he's definitely more open to them and isn't as like, doesn't shut him out as much as he used to.
I did want to ignore them. After a seance, I realized you can actually help the spirits. It's not just all scary. Something like that happens, you can't just ignore it. It's out there. There's something out there.